Now, first of all, let me say welcome to New York. And how about coming to New York, James? I mean, there's been plenty of guys. I'm sure you know there's plenty of horror stories over the years of guys that came to the Yankees, came to the Mets, and couldn't cut it in New York City. How about that aspect from you?
Yeah, I think I'm choosing to focus on the guys that have come here and had success. I think there's many more players that have come to New York and had success than guys that have had failure. So I've been reaching out to, guys on the team here that have done well and previous players that have played here and played well and kind of what they did, what worked for them so that I can get some good tips.
Were you surprised when notified that you were being traded to the Yankees?
I'd seen all the rumors that I was going to be traded. I didn't know who to. But I had a pretty good feeling it was going to happen. But I feel like I got really lucky with it being the Yankees. I'm real excited to be a Yankee.
And traditionally, the Yankees have always had, successful left-hand pitchers. Obviously, CC Sabathia is there right now, and it goes back to Andy Pettitte, Ron Guidry, Whitey Ford, all those guys. So a left-hander in Yankee Stadium, that's a good thing, James.
Absolutely, yeah. I've had a chance to talk with Guidry a little bit, as well as Andy Pettitte. Got some good advice from them. So, camp's been great so far for me.
There's a start I want to go back to, and it's not the no-hitter. That would probably be the stereotype. I want to bring up the no-hitter, but I remember one specific start that you made at home. I was up late, and I couldn't sleep, and I watched you just mow down the A's. You struck out 16 guys that night, and then the no-hitter was the start after that.
It was.
Which was the better start? The complete game no-hitter or the start before that where, dude, it was unbelievable watching that. Which one was better?
Well, a no-hitter is special, but I had better stuff in the 16 strikeout game for sure. That night my fastball was explosive, and I felt like I could throw it by anybody. I had really sharp breaking stuff, and, that got me all the strikeouts. So I definitely had better stuff that night, but the no-hitter, I actually struggled early in the no-hitter. I was walking a few guys trying to lock some things in, and then I found it. And, my defense that night behind me was amazing, too. I mean, those guys deserve it as much as I do. They made some amazing plays behind me, and it was definitely a team effort in that no-hitter.
In the strikeout game, here's what I remember, and I'm curious if you're ticked off, because as a fan, I was ticked off. I was a little annoyed they took you out, all right? You have 16 strikeouts, you pitched 7 innings, your pitch count wasn't that high. Do you remember being annoyed about that, or was that just me sitting there watching, getting annoyed?
I forget what my pitch count was at. I think it was like 116 or something like that.
Was it that high? I'm going to look it up now.
I think that it was. I can't remember exactly, but I remember my coach coming up to me and saying, like, hey, your pitch count's getting up there. We'd love to keep you going, but, it's early in the season still. I think it was May, and
I got it.
James, they didn't want to push me too hard too soon. They wanted me to be healthy for the whole season, so they didn't want to, wear me out on one night.
I got the number. They hosed you. All right, now I'll give them this. It was May, so it was early. Your pitch count was 105. So,
105. Okay, yeah. I thought it was higher than that.
Yeah. No, but I mean, I kind of get that. Is that as a pitcher? Is that tough, especially early in the season? Because you're going to probably have that to some degree with the Yankees, because the Yankees have this ridiculous bullpen. You know it. That there are going to be nights where Aaron Boone says, hey, I know you're dominating, but we got to save you. We're going to be in October, hopefully in October. We've got a loaded bullpen. Is that frustrating as a pitcher?
Yeah, I think because we're competitors. We want to be out there. You want the ball, and I think if you asked Aaron, he'd say that he loves that. He wants us to want the ball. But at the same time, I understand the decisions that need to be made, and the fact that we do want to be playing in October, and I want to have bullets left in October. And that's where they kind of have to hold me back, because if you let me go, I'll just keep on going all day. I'd throw nonstop. So it's kind of up to them to hold me back and help save my bullets.
Talking to James Paxton, one of the newest members of the Yankees. When you pitch your no-hitter, when did you start to think about that, hey, you know what, I got a no-hitter going here? When did it start to really come into your mind?
I started thinking about it, I think I noticed it in the 5th inning. And I was like, oh, okay, no hits, holy smokes, that's kind of cool. I'd been in that position before where I had gone, 5 innings into the game, hadn't given up a hit yet. I think it became real when Kyle Seager ended the 7th inning with that diving play down the third baseline and made that play. And I was like, holy smokes, we're heading into the 8th inning right now with no hits still. I got to get this done, especially after these guys were making some amazing plays. And I just reached back and gave it everything I could, and it happened. which was amazing.
And they weren't taking you out of that game, that's for sure.
No,
Although
no, my pitch count was actually low in that one.
Yes,
Although you never know anymore, James. You know what I mean?
We're talking to James Paxton of the New York Yankees. We get set for the start of the year, a little over a month away. For you personally, and maybe it's like innings pitched or games started, what's that goal that you have, a personal goal? Besides winning the World Series, I know everybody wants to do that. What's a personal goal you have for 2019?
I want to make every one of my starts. You know, I want to be out there 33 times, whatever it is, 32, 33 times. And, you know, my goal is to get to 200 innings. You know, I think that's kind of a benchmark. And if I can get to 200 innings, it's going to be a good year for me.
James, when you look at this team you're on right now, do you say to yourself, man, this is some team here. This is a loaded team. They won 100 games last year. Obviously, the Red Sox were unconscious last year. But when you look at the team you're on, do you say that about the Yankees right now?
It's a special team, man. You look around this clubhouse, and there is some real talent, you know, up and down. The hitters we have, the guys playing defense behind me, the other starting pitchers, the bullpen. It's a special group, and you can see it. You know, guys feel it. They know what we have here, and I think everyone is real excited about the potential of this team.
You look around and say, hey, can I get a contract extension? Hicks has one, Sevy.
Right,
you got 2 years left. Are you thinking about one now, too?
Yeah, they're locking some guys in. They're, you know, we got some real good players here, some young players that are going to be around here for a while now. So I think the Yankees are getting ready to go on a good run.
We're talking to James Paxton. I'm curious about this because we were talking about this earlier, how baseball may experiment in the Atlantic League, so you don't have to worry about this, with moving the mound back a few feet. I have no idea what to expect from something like that. As a pitcher, what do you make of that? What kind of difference do you think there would be with the mound back a foot or two potentially?
Well, it would give the hitters more time to recognize the pitch.
Right.
You know, how long has the mound been at 60 feet 6 inches?
Forever.
It's been a long time, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it like the 18?
Yeah, pre-modern baseball.
Couple years before I was born.
Yeah, so it's been like that forever, you know. So I think that, you know, it'd be some big changes. You know, guys would have more time, but at the same time, they might struggle with off-speed stuff because the break would be happening at a different time. Things might be moving more. I think there would be some added challenges to hitters, as well as, you know, I think on fastballs they'd have an advantage having more time to recognize the pitch. But I think the breaking stuff might be a little interesting.
What about a pitch clock if they installed that permanently?
You know, for me personally, you know, I feel like baseball's a timeless game, and I think we don't want to start adding clocks into it and stuff like that. I understand the one between innings, you know, with commercials and everything and TV. But for me, you know, baseball's a timeless game, and I think that I think the players need to be aware of it, you know, and not be disrespectful and take all this time. But I don't really like the idea of adding clocks into baseball.
Are you sick of spring training yet?
No, we're just getting started. You know, I'm with a new team. I'm excited to be here, kind of getting to know the guys and everyone. It's been a great experience for me. And I enjoy spring training, kind of getting the build up towards the season. It just gets more and more exciting the closer we get.
And you're going to be in no hurry to get to the weather up here. I can tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, New York.
Is it still pretty cold?
No, but March 28th, the chances are good that it's going to be a cold day. I would say that. Yeah, definitely is.
That's all right. It's a good thing I'm Canadian.
Yeah, well, that does help. That's true. That's
right. I was
right.
going to say, you got to be somewhat used to it.
Yeah, that's right.
You got to enjoy that.
Are you ready for the Yankee Red Sox insanity? Are you ready for that?
Oh, I'm excited about it. You know, those games are going to be intense. I've watched them on TV for years, and I'm really excited to be a part of it. I love the energy in the stadium when those games are being played. You know, everyone is just so fired up, and it's going to be a great experience.
You know, you mentioned getting to know your teammates. You've got some veterans in this rotation, including lefties, that I'm sure you can learn, you know, advice from. CeCe Sabathia, who's been around for a million years, even Jay Happ. How about getting to know some of the guys in this rotation?
It's been awesome. You know, the guys have been great. They welcomed me right from the beginning. I knew Jay a little bit before when we played in Seattle. So we had a bit of a rapport. I had never met CeCe before, but we've had plenty of conversations talking about pitching. You know, Andy Pettit was in the last couple of days. Got to talk to him a little bit, which is great. Really getting some good advice from these guys, and I'm looking forward to working with them the rest of the season here.
How about Boone? So far, your first impressions of him?
He's been fantastic. You know, he's a really good communicator. Lets me know exactly what he's looking for, and just keeps up with me on how I'm feeling and everything after my start. You know, he's asking me how I was feeling, how I bounced back, and it's been great so far.
How about getting to know the catchers? I mean, obviously, Gary Sanchez, we figure, if he's healthy, he's going to catch most of the games. Austin Romine has always been raved about. Pitchers usually rave about working with him. But how important is kind of cultivating that relationship at this part of spring training?
I think it's really important, you know, for the catchers to kind of understand how my stuff moves, how to frame my pitches, how I like to pitch, what works well for me. You know, I've got a chance to throw to both Romine and Sanchez so far, and I think that Sanchez might be catching my game on Friday.
Oh, nice.
So, you know, we're getting to know each other a little bit, and I think it's going to be really good, you know, getting some work in together here to get ready for the season.
Well, James, it's a pleasure having you on. Welcome to New York. Good luck as the season goes on, and we'll talk to you down the road.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
All right, man. Take care.
James Paxton, the big maple of the New York Yankees, dispelling a stereotype that all Canadians love hockey.
How about that?
All right? He didn't grow up loving hockey. He was a baseball fan.
It is surprising. Very rare that you talk to a Canadian that's not a hockey guy.
No, you're right very rare. Yeah, you are right. Ernie just sent me this. The Islanders canceled practice today ahead of the Pajama Man's return to the Coliseum. Trotz said they talked about it as a group this morning and decided to take it as a mental day to try to get up back on track. I like that. A nice little mental break.
We should, you know what? I think that's something that you and I should talk to Chernoff about.
Mental breaks?
Mental days.
You just had a vacation.
No, I know, but I'm just looking ahead, you know? I think, Mark, we need a mental day.
That's right. We need a mental day.
We need to get back on track a little bit.
We'll see how that one
Usually
goes.
Fridays. It's like Friday mental days to get ready for the weekend.
Now that football's over, like Friday's a good mental day. I like that.
Friday's a great mental day.
Yeah, even Monday would be good.
Fridays or Mondays specifically.
Right,
yes.
right.
Mental days. Well, the Islanders are going to have one. And I give Ernie credit. He contacted the Toronto Maple Leafs
to try to get Tavares?
Made a formal request, and the Maple Leafs said because they're playing a back-to-back, unfortunately, he can't.
Right, right.
Because obviously, if they weren't playing a back-to-back,
we clearly would get him.
Right. If they weren't in Toronto tonight against Edmonton, JT Pajama Man would have been on the show, and it would have been a very respectful interview.
Yeah, you would have done a brilliant job.
Oh, sure.
I know.